My people, una welcome back to Eke React. I'm back with another trending topic in Nigeria. So for this trending video, Mr. Peter Obi, they plan to write serious letter and give President Tinubu, to remind him, say the hardship where the Nigeria done too much. So it be like say this one go fit shake ground for politics, or abi na wahala e go cause. Una remember say the last time Peter Obi complain, give President Tinubu, say APC people give am to woto. Him being cause wahala then. So what did you guys think concerning this letter where Peter Obi writes to President Tinubu like this? Do you guys think that the letter is going to get to President Tinubu, or maybe it's gonna cause another wahala just like the New Year period? So what did you guys think? I would like hear your opinion concerning this on the comment section below. But no be only that one. Or the UK minister or Kemi Badenoch don't open mouth talk say Nigeria they buy person destiny. So what thing she mean by that? Is they related to the suffering we they see for the country, or another thing she they yarn? So I go like hear una opinion concerning this on the comment section below. No go anywhere, make we dive into the video, but don't forget to like the video so that YouTube will recommend it to others. Share and subscribe to our channel. Turn on the notification bell so that you don't go miss any of our updates.
The former Anambra State Governor, Peter Obi, has decried the severe hardship faced by low-income earners in Nigeria while condemning exorbitant point-of-sale charges affecting petty traders, and pledged to write a letter to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Peter Obi made the comment when he donated 30 million naira to Paul University, Awka, a tertiary institution owned by the Anglican Church in Anambra State, in line with his promise to support educational institutions in Nigeria. I mean, we're seeing Peter Obi always, talking and always making all these gestures, especially with education. We have even heard that independent monitors have, revealed that Obi has spent maybe approximately about 1.5 billion naira in 2025 alone on humanitarian efforts. I wanted you to tie in that comment he made about writing a letter to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, especially about the severe hardship that low-income earners are facing.
Yes, I'm happy that he made mention of the fact that point of sale, they charge too much. But the truth has to be, okay, what you were saying was 2024.
Did I say in 2025? Okay, in 2024 alone, he has donated over 1.5
But the question
billion,
his letter, yes, very good one, but it will not do much.
Okay.
Because there's an ecosystem and there are many charges. And the reason why these people charge a lot, also because of banking infrastructure, not availability of currency, as it were, and the fact that banking infrastructure has not been built across board. So these agency bankers come into play. Yes, and they fill a gap, don't get me wrong, in society. But the question is, how can we be able to build up infrastructure of internet banking? As of today, now, most of the banks can't even pay their fees for, what's it called now, this one that it takes to get USSD.
USSD.
And that has been a problem lingering for a while now. So these people have come in there. So what we can also do is to be able to talk into the banking ecosystem, the agency banking ecosystem, to be able to do something about the tariffs being charged. But these people also hedge because they too are faced by the Nigerian challenge. A lot of these operators of POS, they get robbed and all of that. So the money they also charge is also like to be able to protect them against all of these challenges. But apart from that, kudos to him on the giving. I think this is even the second time he's giving to this Paul University. Cumulatively has given about 50 million. And when you calculate how much Peter Obi has given to people, it's even more than what he spent on his election campaign. So that's a show a leader that has a heart for people.
Just a comment. Mr. Peter Obi has done well donating to, all causes, whether it's a Christian religion or to Muslims or to the displaced people. We always encourage philanthropy. However, he says he's going to write a letter to President Tinubu.
Yes.
Well, given the relationship between him and President Tinubu, I'm not sure that letter will be allowed to get to President Tinubu's desk. Okay. The best he can hope for is to get a rebuke from either Mr. Bayo Nonuga or somebody else within that team. They will say he has come with a negative response to them again. However, the point he has raised is a very valid point.
Okay.
We are at the mercy of the POS people. We are at the mercy of the banks.
Yes.
Do you know that the banks no longer have cash to give?
Yes. It's not.
Some banks will tell you can't get more than 20,000 naira.
They call it
what is anybody doing about that? And the POS people, they have cash. The banks have no cash.
Yes. Well
it's
said.
a curious situation that we have on our hands.
Yes. Well,
but let him not bother about writing letter.
Well,
he has raised the point. He has raised the point.
I think it's okay too. The letter could be good as well as his tweets. All of
that's
the
if they
tweets
don't send his letter back to
well,
you.
all right. We're all speaking.
Okay, maybe an open letter.
Yes, like the way Obasanjo does as well.
Okay,
No problem at all. It's great that these leaders of thought continue to express our frustration to the president. TikTok is back. It's the beginning of the era of a presidential showman. Today is the inauguration, but Trump had said that he would, sign an executive order to stall the ban just 12 hours after the app went dark. But after Trump's statement, social media users began to notice a rapid restoration of the app on their devices. I mean, I guess we can pull up this float when TikTok welcomed users back with a notification that said, "Thanks for your patience and support. As a result of President Trump's efforts, TikTok is back in the US." I mean, obviously, Trump is going to take credit for this, even though we know that Trump and his team, are still trying to finalize that executive order, to delay TikTok, to give the platform more reach and a deal to stay in the United States. In the United States alone, there are over 170 million Americans on TikTok. We saw a video also where Americans were, distressed. Let me just play that video over TikTok's ban.
And I know it's dramatic as hell that I'm crying, but I just seen the video of the girl that made the renegade dance.
This app was literally supposed to be my way out. I have been posting on this app almost every day for 5 years, guys. I've been posting on this app 3 to 5 times every day for the last...
Government, I'm never forgiving you for this. And I'm never going to trust you ever again because you just, like that, took away millions of people's income and livelihood. And who does that?
I mean, look at these guys crying. I mean, it seems funny, but some of them, it's their livelihood. I mean, it's amazing. I was in a hotel in London over the weekend, and there was an event for TikTok, and they were organizing this event to award the people that have generated the most revenue for TikTok. It's really a big deal. Before we converse, let us, just take this final one. SpaceX founder and billionaire businessman Elon Musk joined Donald Trump on stage. Let's take a look.
Thank you, Mr. President. Sorry, little X just followed me on the stage here. He's a very enthusiastic supporter, as you can see. Yeah. So we're looking forward to making a lot of changes, and this victory is the start, really. What matters going forward is to actually make significant changes, cement those changes, and set the foundation for America to be strong for a century, for centuries, forever. So, and make America great again. Yeah.
Make America great again. It was a great moment last night, Dr. Abati, when we were watching all of the great sound bites that came from President-elect, the 47th President of the United States, make all those comments saying that he's going to right all the wrongs and change the trajectory of America.
Well, what should we expect? I mean, it is Donald Trump. He's a showman.
Yes.
The apprentice is back. Yes. And he says he's back in Washington, not to come and sell ice cream, but to produce results. And today we begin to see the effect of that. As I said earlier today, he's not going to leave the Capitol straight to the White House without getting to work immediately. He's going to sign a number of executive orders. One of those executive orders has to do with TikTok, but there is a legal angle to that. You can only grant extension for 90 days. Otherwise, it could be challenged legally. But TikTok has been given a reprieve, at least for the next 90 days. And instructively, Chuchu, the CEO of TikTok, is going to attend the inauguration. Yeah. And then some Americans, Perplexity AI, they already say they want to, join TikTok to form TikTok USA. Frank O'Leary and Frank McCourt, under what they call the People's Bid for TikTok, also want to join TikTok. So TikTok may well survive, and the 170 million Americans may get a reprieve. What is President Trump also likely to do? He's been talking about what he calls transgender lunacy. He says he's going to address that. He says he's going to, reintroduce Title 42. Yeah. Title 42 was enacted in 1944, and it's a health grant thing that was last used during COVID. He wants to keep people from Mexico away, and he's also going to build that wall, and he's also going to say remain in Mexico. He's going to pull America out of Paris climate agreement. He's going to do something about Ukraine. He says he wants about 100 executive orders that he says we should expect in 1 week. But the more important thing is the tariffs that he's going to impose on the rest of the world. 10 to 25% on every import into the United States. That's going to upend the global order. But it will be interesting to see what happens with Trump 2.0. Already there's excitement on Wall Street. He has introduced cryptocurrency. He launched one on Friday. Melania has also launched her own. So all of this, investors are saying, well, maybe this may be a good period for the financial sector under Trump. But he has not left anyone in any doubt that his primary interest is America. He wants to make America great again. I hope he will not make the world smaller by making America great again.
Well, all right, Rufai, Trump, like Dr. Batia said, is set to sign over 100 executive orders. I mean, my first story touched on, the border invasion, which a lot of people have, really talked about, saying that the border was quite secure, becoming secure before Donald Trump, was elected. But before you speak, you know that Time Magazine's new inauguration issue cover features Donald Trump briskly clearing President Joe Biden's belonging from the desk in the Oval Office with his arm sending Biden's signature aviator sunglasses flying. Time Magazine previewed the new cover in a post on X on Sunday, touting its cover story entitled Donald Trump's Disruption is Back. I mean, look at that. It's such an epic description of Donald Trump, really just trying to take away a lot of the the policies of former President Joe Biden in a few hours.
That's Trump for you. Brash, a bull, a rampaging bull in the China shop. Says it's during the swamp. A lot of lies, a lot of, orchestrated division, very pompous, narcissistic nationalism at its finest. A new era for the likes of the Proud Boys of this world. They're going to reign supreme. A replica of the Hitler days, as far as I'm concerned, and that's my fear. He has started the lies already. In his rally yesterday, let me point out one lie. Joe Biden take 100% credit for the peace deal in Gaza. Trump said he was the one that did it. Lie number one. He started. Number two, do not forget that, the case against him that he tried to, appeal, and the court, the one against the writer, I think, Carol, that said he raped her, that case too, his appeal did not sail through. Three, he has started, this mass deportation thing. And another lie too he lies is that his biggest on-border defense, I think it's a lie. Obama deported more people, and kept the border, the net migration number in check than in Trump's time. But he will lie to you and brag like, oh, he's the big guy in the door. All of these policies and this executive order also, another thing he's going to do is going to remove a lot of regulations on the financial system, because you see, this is the problem I have against Republicans. They always believe that it's trickle-down economics that fixes the country. I don't believe so. That's why I support the Democrats in American policy. I believe, I'm very, socialist also in my head, so I believe you have to put targeted measures towards the middle, the working class, to be able to base an economy. So they're going to remove a lot of banking regulations also. These are part of things he's going to do. And that's why he's launching crypto. It's going to be a good day for the rich. The tax cuts are going to be for his rich friends. It's not for the hard-working, suffering Americans. So he's going to put about all of that, the tax cuts and all that. The tariff increases is the air of nationalism. Because why? He wants to make American businesses competitive so that, but in the long run, what he's also going to do is going to bring about inflation. Because what they're going to do is that those businesses, when they get higher tariffs, they will pass on the cost to the American citizens. So it's always about the rich people. You can always see, as any Republican government will be, the rich will get richer. When Reagan came in, the rich got richer, while childhood poverty increased in America. So that's always the lot. But it's going to be an American first policy. He's going to reverse a lot of things because he doesn't believe in this climate change thing. So he's going to go ahead. But most importantly, I see the Times Magazine feature saying he's clearing the desk and all of that.
Clearing it away.
And also, let's call out his hypocrisy real quickly. The man that is saying he's anti-woke and anti-hope, he knows that one of his cabinet picks is a gay person. So let's not just put that in there.
All right.
But most importantly, I think the first tax he should do, there's a tradition in America that the outgoing president always writes a letter for the incoming president and leaves it on the Resolute desk in the Oval Office. That desk is called the Resolute desk.
All right.
I just pray, please, he gets a chance to read it. He should not in the process of pushing everything about tear that letter.
All right.
Because Biden has one or two things to be able to tell him. And probably at some point in the future, we'll know the content of the letter Biden did drop for him.
All right. Well, the greatest showman is back as the 47th president of the United States. And We Authorize News will be here to give you all of the coverage. Well, let's head over to the United Kingdom now, where the leader of the country's Conservative Party, Kemi Badenoch, has yet again denigrated Nigeria, saying that Nigeria destroys lives and that she does not want the consequences of the country's terrible government to play out in Britain. Badenoch spoke last Thursday while delivering her first speech of the year.
I grew up in a poor country, and I watched my relatively wealthy family become poorer and poorer and poorer, despite working harder and harder as their money disappeared with inflation. I came back to the UK, age 16, with my father's last £100 in the hope of a better life. So I have lived with the consequences of terrible governments that destroy lives, and I never, ever want that to happen here.
All right, of course, this will gather reactions. Ayo, let me take them before I come to you. This is from Adewale, who wrote, "Dear Kemi, we have moved past you. Your relentless efforts at demarketing the country of your ancestry has yielded big fruits. Ask about Dirty December in Lagos this Yuletide season. You'll get your answer." Well, another Twitter user, Biomed, wrote, "Is she saying the truth? Yes, she is. But is she meddling in Nigerian affairs? Yes. She needs to focus more on the problems of the British people. She can't keep poking Nigeria unprovoked. She forgot the British government policy keeps Nigeria poorer and poorer and poorer because of the benefits they got from Nigeria and its citizens." Ayo, your comment on Kemi Badenoch.
I've expressed myself a number of times how I feel about what Kemi Badenoch says, leader of the Conservative Party in the United Kingdom, the first black woman to occupy such a position, and a woman who happens to be from Nigeria in terms of her origin. This was her first speech this year, 2025, at Onward, a British think tank group. And she was using her personal experience to buttress a point about how, about how it was important to not allow a government to destroy lives or make people poorer. As the first tweet or the second tweet said, was she telling the truth? To some extent. You know, the challenge about conversations or speeches like this is that there's an element of truth, even though it's also hyperbolic. There's an exaggeration there as well. She said she left Nigeria with and her dad with the last £100. I mean, that has to be, there's a big question mark.
That was what got me, really.
Question mark there. I think one thing that Kemi must understand is that you can actually deliver your speeches, talk about the progress you want to make without denigrating your country. A lot of, Rishi Sunak never had to do that with India. And we know that India and Nigeria have similar challenges, even though they seem to be working out there as a bit better. Why it appeals to sensibilities of some Nigerians is because it speaks to their realities even till today. The truth is that today, some policies have impoverished some Nigerians, and so they're feeling, they can connect with what she's saying. However, in terms of diplomacy, it doesn't even look good for the United Kingdom. We have enjoyed a cordial relationship with the nation for so many years. And so to begin to speak, even though it's from personal experience, is quite sad. But unfortunately, or fortunately, she's entitled to her opinion. But I think that it's time we stop giving her, this attention, because it looks like she's feeding from it, she loves it, and it's giving her that leverage. You heard the applause after she said that. It is cheap publicity. It's an easy way for her to appeal to the British public, at least those who already think this way about Nigeria.
Well, she's absolutely using that her platform in the way that she feels, some people have applauded her, saying that she needs to speak for Nigeria. I mean, we're talking about Nigeria getting poorer with, some low-income earners, the policies and all of that, inflation, and the interest rates getting higher. A quick comment, but because I wanted to tie these two together.
Auntie Jemima Badenoch. I think she has said enough about Nigeria. Her ambition is to become Prime Minister of Great Britain. She's already, leader of the Conservative Party. She says she's looking for reform. So that Britain doesn't become Nigeria. Fine, we have heard. But if she's talking about reform, let her start with the party that she leads. That's the more urgent assignment that is before her. Because the Conservative Party, in the last poll conducted by YouGov, is slipping behind the Reform UK.
Yes.
Reform UK, Nigel Farage, Reform UK, has already overtaken the Conservatives. Nigel Farage has gained about 15% since the last election. The Conservative Party has gone down by about 10%. So she should be more interested in positioning our party, because that is the primary assignment that she has been given. Whether she left Nigeria with £100 or not, who cares? Some people left Nigeria to relocate to Britain with a small bag of gari and a bottle of granite bought by the roadside, so that at least when they get to London, they will have something to eat. She's even lucky. She has £100, and from £100 now she's eating steak every lunch hour. She's spending about £25 having steak.
Well said, Dr. Abati.
Good for her.
Good for her.
But to Auntie Jemima, Uncle Tom, Kemi, I'm happy that Dr. Abati raised the issue that Kemi cannot be a Falano. You know what they call a Falano? A Falano, Botire, Taradi Lagbo. She cannot remove the log in her own eye. It's another person who she's looking at. And I'm going to tell you what Kemi is doing, the game she's playing. You see, the truth is, when they told Kemi that Nigel Farage has usurped her in the polls, she said it's a lie. In fact, she was fighting the statistician. When Kemi came out to give this policy statement, she didn't say anything tangible. She said she was thinking around the plan and the strategy, because people talk policy but they don't know how to implement it. So Kemi is empty to a large extent. So she masks the emptiness in rhetorics. And where is the greatest place to attract? She gives what they call red meat to right-wing wingers by denigrating our own country, saying, oh, Nigeria is the bastion of socialism, nothing works. You can see how socialism is very bad. But she forgets that the socialism, free education and other things, it was what paid for her father's education, it was what paid for the country she had, it was what subsidized with the ISL she went to, and all of that. So she should continue in this game. It's not going to change the fact that she's never going to be white enough for the right wingers. And to a large extent, she has her own challenges.
Well, I wanted to take this very important story in Niger State, where Governor Umar Bago has prohibited heavy-duty trucks from using the one-way route through Diko Bridge following a tanker explosion that killed 86 people, or 87 people, on Saturday, January 18th, when a tanker conveying petrol crashed in the area. The governor made the announcement when he visited the explosion site at Diko Junction. Bago expressed sadness over the loss of lives, describing the incident as pathetic. I know we have discussed the story at length early this morning. I wanted to just, express my condolences to the families and the victim. I know that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has, also expressed his condolences and has already ordered the Minister of Information to order the Ministry of National Orientation to continue to enlighten Nigerians over these horrific incidents. Let me quickly take Bukola Saraki's tweet. He wrote, "The horrific petrol tanker explosion that occurred yesterday at Diko Junction, Niger State, claiming the lives of at least 80 people and injuring many more, is a devastating tragedy that demands immediate attention and action. This incident is a grim reminder of the risks Nigerians take to survive and highlights the poor state of our road infrastructure and inadequate vehicle maintenance, which together contribute to such accidents. Addressing these systemic issues is essential to prevent further tragedies and ensure the safety of all citizens. My thoughts and prayers are with the Niger State government, the victims, their families, and the entire community affected by this terrible loss. May their souls rest in perfect peace."
Amen.
Really, really sad story. Well, let's take this other story. Social media was awash with reactions over the weekend after the transmission company of Nigeria announced that the presidential villa has been thrown into darkness over rising cases of theft of electricity cables by vandals. TCM, as well as the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, confirmed that a 132 kV transmission line and underground cables supplying power to central parts of the Federal Capital Territory and its environs were vandalized. The Guardian's headline caught the attention of many Nigerians. It read, "Vandals steal cables supplying presidential villa electricity, throw Tinubu into darkness." I mean, when I saw this comment, people were just making a mockery of this. I mean, what sort of effrontery is this? I mean,
I think the Vandals
Where's the light?
have a morbid sense of humor.
Come on.
A morbid sense of humor.
Yes.
It's their own cynical way of saying, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. Because they steal cables elsewhere, they affect the national grid elsewhere, they throw the people into darkness. They say, okay, let the people of Aso Rock also have a taste of it. After all, we are all citizens.
Yes, absolutely. That we are all real
There's
citizens.
no Nigerian what you call that. I think it's great. Let me say it's great, but I can understand the poetic justice of this in terms of it's not great. Still, but I think it's important to understand the psychology of Nigerians. We talked to the NOA Director General earlier on, and just like our values, the way we think, it's not just in Aso Rock, but vandalism across 18 lines like that. It is deplorable. We are stealing ourselves blind. When people start, it's like it's jungle. It's a jungle. When people start to steal from themselves, there's a problem. Or destroy themselves or destroy their infrastructure, there's a problem with that.
All right.
Vandalism is no respecter of authority, constituted authority.
Well, before we
That's
end
our
what's
dilemma.
trending today, let us highlight Nigeria's women's under-19 cricket team, the Junior Yellow Greens, as they make history in our Good News Report. Some exciting news. Nigeria is stepping into the international scene in a cricket tournament for the first time in history, and Nigeria's women under-19 cricket team, the Junior Yellow Greens, have made a landmark achievement by qualifying for the ICC Under-19 Women's Top 20 World Cup, which is currently taking place in Malaysia. Let's hear what the team had to say.
This is the Under-19 Women's World Cup. And here is Nigeria.
Very, very excited to be in Malaysia. It's a dream come true. It's overwhelming. We're actually the first female team to qualify for the World Cup in my country.
An opportunity to bring out that lion in me. I hope and I believe that we're going to make it, we're going to win, and we'll get the cup back to Nigeria.
When we are fielding, just come watch. Oh, we're going to bring fire everywhere.
Our saying is, they are batting just 2, us we are 11, so if one falls, the remaining 10 pick up that one.
You've got to keep your eyes on, raring and ready to go. Let's hear it for Nigeria!
All right, I mean, what can we do? Our women's team, I cannot wait. I hope that they make us proud. I believe that they will make us proud. I'd love to thank you all.